So, by request, I'm going to do a quick session for algebra. So, this is just a quick little refresher on how we solve some types of equations, specifically one where we have variables, the same variable on two sides of the equation. So, I'm going to look at a couple of little things here, and we're going to work our way up to that. All right, so the first thing, let's start out with an equation like, if my pen chooses to work, let's start out with something like 4y minus 8 equals 32. So there's our basic equation. So what I want to do is I want to find out the value of y. To find out the value of y, we must get variable by itself. So we want that, when by itself, I mean we want it on one side of the equation. So here we have it on one side of the equation, but we have a constant with it. We have minus 8 with it. So we want to get rid of minus 8. So to get rid of or to move things from one side or the other, you do the opposite to both sides. So here I'm going to look at my equation. 4y minus 8 equals 32. Well, what's the opposite of minus 8? Well, the opposite of minus 8 would be plus 8. So I'm going to do 4y minus 8 plus 8 is equal to 32 plus 8. Now, remember, key, always do the same thing to both sides of the equation. So the minus 8 and the plus 8 are going to cancel each other out. And that's going to leave us with 4y is equal to 32 plus 8, which is 40. So here we are. We're almost at the end. Now what we have to do is, in order to get y by itself, again, we have to do the same thing to both sides of the equation. Here we need to divide both sides by 4. All right, we're doing the opposite. 4 times y, so now we're dividing by 4. We divide by 4 on both sides of the equation, and we are left with y equals 10. Now, if we want to go back and we want to figure out if this is correct, we go back and we substitute our values in, which would become 4 times 10 minus 8 equals 32. And we can determine that, yes, in fact, 4 times 8 is 40, minus 8 is 32. 32 does equal 32, so my equation is solved. So that's the basic idea. Do the opposite to both sides in order to move something back and forth or on the equation. So the second type of example that we wanted to take a look at here was when we have multiple variables on each side. So we're going to do a simple one first. We're going to go 2y minus 6 is equal to 5y. So here again, what we need to do is we need to get all of the y's together on one side. So how am I going to do this in this case? Well, here what I want to do is so 2y, we haven't multiplied 2y by anything. It's just there. So it's a positive 2y. So what we want to do here is we want to subtract 2y from each side. So we get 2y minus 2y minus 6 equals 5y minus 2y. 2y minus 2y, well, again, that's going to cancel out. That leaves us with negative 6. 5y minus 2y is going to give us 3y. And again, now we're left having 3y as multiplication. The opposite is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 3. And we end up with y is equal to negative 2. And there we go. Same idea as we did in the first time. We must get the variable by itself. So here we got all the variables on the left side, and we got the constants on the right side. Now, it does not matter which side we put them on, as long as we're consistent. We want variables on one, constants on the other. So the third type of problem that we see with this is the problems where we have multiple variable or the same variable and multiple constants on both sides. So for example, here we could have something like 4x plus 12 is equal to 6x minus 4. Now, again, I'm making these problems up as I go along, so they may end up with some weird answers, so we're just going to work with it, okay? So 4x plus 12 is equal to 6x minus 4, and we want to find out what x is. So we want to get all the constants on one side and on all the variables on another. So let's decide, we're going to get all of my variables over here, so we want to have all my x's on the left, and we're going to make sure that we have all the numbers on the right. So first thing, 4x minus 12. So I want to do the opposite. So now I have 4x plus 12 minus 12 is equal to 6x minus 4 minus 12. So these are going to cancel out. I'm going to be left with 4x is equal to 6x minus 16. Now, I want to get rid of the 6x. So, because I want it to be over here with the 4x. So what do? I'm going to subtract the 6x. So I got 4x minus 6x is equal to 6x minus 6x minus 16. The 6x and the minus 6x cancel out. 4x minus 6x gives us negative 2x is equal to negative 16. And again, what do we do here? We have to do the opposite. So we have times multiplying the x by minus 2. So we are going to divide by negative 2. These cancel out. We get x minus 16 divided by minus 2. Two negatives give us a positive. X equals 8. Now, to make sure that this is true, I have to plug this back into my equation. Hopefully I'm right. This is one I made up on the fly. So we have 4 times 8 plus 12 is equal to 6 times 8 minus 4. 4 times 8, 8 times 8. 8 and 8 is 16. 16 is 32 plus 12, which would give me 44. 6 times 8 is 48 minus 4. Oh, yeah. It's equal to 44. So those are the steps. I can work through more problems if you want, but this is the basic idea. You want all the variables on one side, you want all the constants on the other side, and you move them back and forth by doing the opposite to both sides of the equation. So if you have plus 4x on one side, you subtract 4x from both sides. If you have multiply 2 times x on one side, you divide by 2 on both sides. Always doing the opposite to move things back and forth. Hope this helped. Anyways, hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll have some other videos posted this weekend. Sorry about the delays. With all the crazy power issues we've been having at the school, I haven't been able to get in here to record these. And especially if I'm writing examples, it's much, much, much easier for me to do that with a screen than it is to try to do it on my computer because my computer does not have a touch screen. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Thanks for listening.